Hello, I'm Jordan Midler and welcome to Raj Quit, a show about video games. This week, we're talking about the entirely overrated festival of for religious corporate pornography that is Christmas. Ho, ho, and indeed, ho. Christmas is the time of year that we just accept the absolute agony that is sitting at a rickety table on a folding chair for 1,000 hours, eating food so dull you wouldn't feed it to a pigeon. I say time of year, we're practically assaulted with adverts counting down the days to this shitfest from July, like a 4-minute warning set to an acoustic cover of some twee pop song that'll get stuck in your head like a brain parasite. If, like me, you find the whole thing a tedious interlude before turning your kidneys black on Hogmanay, you may be looking for some games that you can play to pass the time. Well, you could sink into some endless RPG so long it practically becomes a part-time job. Instead, I thought I'd recommend some games that will inject some much needed tension into the family unit. So here are 5 games that will ruin your family Christmas faster than surprise DNA test results. Gang Beasts is a simulation of what you'd like to do to your dad after he's had a few too many and shares his political beliefs. A cuddly knockabout twinned with UFC, it's a great way to expel some of the growing anger generated through pretending to be grateful for receiving a Mrs. Brown's Boys box set when in reality you'd rather receive a kick in the balls. It's also ridiculously hard to control, so even those who have not touched a game since they bought and forgot about their Wii Fit can have a good time. It's been out for a while, but it's still one of the best couch co-op games going, and it's the best wrestling game in years. You can usually get it on Steam for less than the price of the disgustingly opulent dessert that no one will touch because they've just eaten enough food for a month, so it's well worth picking up. Super Mario Party is the 1,000,000th game in the franchise that is less fun than a bleach enema. A sickening mix of atrociously controlling minigames, frustrating random nonsense, and games that last so long it will be mid-2021 before you're finished. As far as a stocking stuffer goes, it's about as welcome as a positive STD test. The only thing that makes sitting through the game more tolerable is that it has a surprisingly malicious bent to it, giving every player the opportunity to screw over the others multiple times. So by the end of the game, or rather once everyone's given up and they're all looking at their phones, you'll have not only wasted most of the day, you'll all hate each other and new feuds between family members you once tolerated will emerge. So maybe it's not all bad. And yes, this is my second year in a row complaining about Super Mario Party, but frankly it's Christmas and to me it's about as traditional as undercooked turkey, so I'm going to do it forever. Speaking of undercooked, OVERCOOKED 2 is a cooking simulator in the same way that Burnout is a good preparation for your driving test. Each member of your family can invent colourful and creative new swear words to throw at each other while you try to enumerate how desperately you need them to chop up a virtual tomato. OVERCOOKED is a fantastic game when everyone is playing correctly, but if even one player doesn't pull their weight, you'll have wished that whoever did cook had left the middle of the turkey raw so you could be throwing up your guts instead. OVERCOOKED is great because even if you're slightly competent you'll get through most of the levels, but as soon as it goes well once, you'll have so much hubris that you and your family will have a brief moment of togetherness, only for it to be ripped to shreds over whose job it was to wash the dishes and why the kitchen is on fire. It's exactly the type of game that will send the old people to bed out of frustration, so if you and your fellow young family members want rid of them, I'd recommend firing it on. But if after they've gone you still want to play something, why don't we wind down with a relaxing Jailbreak? A Way Out is a game for the type of cretin that thinks it's socially acceptable to talk in the cinema. A not so subtle tribute to just about every jailbreak film ever, it's ironically about as bland as porridge. Starring a goatee and Nathan Drake reflected in the back of a spoon, the game is co-op only, meaning that if you want to get through the thing, you'll either have to convince a family member you despise to play along, or hold both controllers like the world's saddest game of Tekken. The story is nonsense and the performances are so over the top they occasionally cross into the realm of panto, although being a prison drama, shouting "He's behind you" has slightly more grim connotations. It's short enough that you could probably get through it before the Boxing Day sadness sets in, especially because by the end you'll be more interested in the shiny chocolate wrappers than the actual story. That was too negative. Let's finish with a game that is perfect for the type of person that is regularly asked to leave karaoke bars because you've already sang Seasons of Love twice and you broke the mic. Cowards. Rock Band 4 is the sequel to Rock Band 3 in a twist so shocking I hope you were sitting down. It's basically a fantasy game set in a future where you and your pals actually stuck to your instruments instead of forming a band for 2 weeks and splitting up because of creative differences. There's so much DLC now that even if your taste is industrial reggae techno, they've probably got about 20 songs for you. It's still an amazing time and you'll be shocked how quickly your family go from politely playing along to destroying furniture and throwing their backs out trying to be Freddie Mercury. Thanks for watching for this year and I hope your Christmas is filled with plenty of opportunity to completely patch your family and dive into the billion games that come out this year, because that's what I'll be doing. Until next time, don't forget to subscribe to BBC The Social Gaming. I'm Jordan Midler. See you later.